Chapter 1. Where were you when it began? Holding on to anything is like holding on to your breath. You will suffocate. The only way to get anything in the physical universe is by letting go of it. Let go, and it will be yours forever. Author, Deepak Chopra. April the 7th, 2020. Dare I breathe? Tomorrow is a month. 30 days since we left coronavirus-stricken Madrid in Spain. We left on March the 8th. Cases exploded there the 9th. 2020 was to be a year of travel for us and started off great. We went to Costa Rica in January for 2 weeks and Spain the end of February and beginning of March for 9 days. We thoroughly enjoyed both trips. Then we had planned a square dance trip to Germany in September. I don't watch the national news daily, but putter around on news apps on my iPad, so I had only an inkling that the coronavirus was building steam. That's why the anguish hit me so hard on our return from Spain. Yes, we had seen some masks in the Madrid airport, but we saw no panic there and not enough masks to truly stand out. After we returned for 30 days, we sat with our eyes glued to our iPads, desperate for new information about the explosion in Spain and the rising number of cases here in the United States. Holding my breath as an automatic reaction to stress, I maintained rituals, self-examination by the minute, self-diagnosis daily, and self-screening repeatedly. Lynn and I secretly eyed each other, wondering who would be first. We had spent our last weekend in Spain in downtown Madrid and just knew one or both of us would get the coronavirus. Traveling friends suggested taking Airborne, the vitamin supplement, while we were in Spain. They do this anytime they travel, so I did. When we got home, I continued a daily dose as a precaution. I'd do anything to protect myself. Washing hands with soap and singing the doxology because my priest said it was the right amount of time. I felt frantic about that microscopic enemy. I panicked when I felt my throat tickle. Was my throat sore? Where did the diarrhea come from? Oh no, a cough. I didn't have that yesterday. Is it the virus? Dread and anxiety gripped me. We followed the CDC suggestion and did 2 weeks of self-quarantine, desperate not to share if we had it. My husband Lynn ventured out more than I did because his garden preparation demanded he go. I stayed home the whole 2 weeks. As the world realized the severity of the coronavirus pandemic, local and national dances canceled. Color Lab canceled. My life canceled. After 2 weeks of seclusion, I released a sigh. Maybe we made it, yet we heard conflicting reports about the incubation period. 2 to 14 days, or maybe as long as 27? Oh my God, who knows for sure? Am I safe? I felt shielded with the suggested shelter in place, and so relieved that I had no lingering symptoms. Maybe, just maybe, we dodged a bullet. Finally, after 2 weeks, I ventured out of the house for the first time for a prescription and groceries. We didn't have any masks, so I watched a YouTube video and created homemade masks with the bandana and rubber bands. That's all we had at the time to protect ourselves. As I finally faced going out in the world, I realized we had none of the safety gear necessary. So I shot off an order to Amazon for masks, gloves, and hand sanitizer, which took a couple of weeks to come because of the surge in demand. On my first venture out, panic and fear seized me. I had 2 essential stops, the pharmacy and the grocery store. I had never before worried about how close people stood near me, but the news continued to stress social distancing, a new term I learned quickly. When I found my place in line to get my prescriptions, the drugstore marked 6-foot spaces between customers, which felt comforting, yet so foreign. Still, people appeared too close to me. When I got inside the grocery store, it was 4 p.m., a busy time, and people crowded around me. I felt claustrophobic. As I watched the mob, I saw my fear reflected in others' eyes. We'd been hearing about the toilet paper shortage for weeks and saw crowds on TV trampling people to get this newfound gold. Why do people hoard toilet paper? When I maneuvered to the toilet paper aisle, I saw empty shelves looming before me. We would have to be strategic to get our supply. So as I moved to the holiday aisle, malted Easter eggs lured me in. Impulse buying. No, it's Easter time. I always buy them at Easter. I resorted to my normal routine, 2 bags. When I got home, I wolfed down 1 whole bag immediately and gained 3 pounds the next morning. I had to come up with a solution for next week's shopping. My remedy to the crowded grocery store came easily. Our grocery stores provided a senior shopping time slot early in the morning, so I set my alarm for 6:30 a.m. so I could arrive there close to 7. I felt safer. To limit the number of shoppers inside, we had to stand in line outside. The older people respected the social distance. Most had on masks and many wore gloves. The best part, I faced fewer people. However, I did not let my guard down. Still washing hands, disinfecting the bags, the kitchen counter, like a doctor on YouTube suggested. I divided the counter into 2 parts. One was where I placed the unclean goods, and the other was for the disinfected items. After cleaning, I moved each item over to the disinfected slot. I wiped down everything from the store with Clorox wipes. Then I retraced my steps to the Jeep, the steering wheel, the doorknobs, everything. Then I washed my hands one last time to finish this solemn task. Fear was my constant companion. I continued to watch my husband Lynn closely. Terror gripped my heart. Both of us have had health issues the last couple years. We couldn't afford to get the coronavirus with our health records. When 3 weeks had gone, I breathed another sigh of relief. It must mean we were safe. Yet in the back of my mind and heart, I wondered, will it happen? Will it sneak up and attack when I least expect it? Tomorrow I will breathe, celebrate, relax, and praise God. But today I feel so apprehensive, not sure, wondering, what's coming? God protect us. We live in uncertain times, staying home when I'm used to being with others, dancing, traveling, and hugging. I haven't been to visit our ranch in southeastern Colorado. The open prairies, a magnificent burnt orange sunset silhouetting Saddle Rock, or an evening ride around our ranch with my brother looking for wildlife and sharing favorite memories that rejuvenate me. People check in to see how we're doing, the strong connections of lasting friendships and family. I'm an extrovert, so I need you and your hugs. However, we can cope with this insanity. We just have to find the best way that works for our individual personalities. I hope my words comfort your heart. Take them as a virtual hug. Let me know how you have felt during this sad time. Your reflections. What were you doing during the first few weeks as the pandemic surged? Did it catch you unaware, like me?